Welcome to our Cartne video about Songs Alive. Our guest today is Gilli Moon.
All right. Hi, I'm Gilli Moon. I am an artist and artist entrepreneur. I am also the president of Songsalive, the largest non-profit international organization for songwriters and composers, and it's a membership organization worldwide. And I'm so excited to be here today.
So, Gilli, tell us about Songs Alive and how it helps songwriters.
Songsalive has been a baby of mine for over 20 years. Back in 1997, back in the 90s, when I felt that songwriters were not getting the justice in the music business. They needed a platform not only to be heard, to gain feedback before prime time putting out music, but also just acknowledging their place in the success of music and the music business. So I established Songsalive there, and it went worldwide. I wanted to keep it very philanthropic and non-profit, community-driven. So it's not a profit venture. It's run by songwriters for songwriters, and we established over the 20 years multiple chapters around the world, not just in America, but also in my home country, Australia, in Europe, even in Asia. We even had a chapter in Russia at some time where songwriters could gather and gain feedback from each other on their music, as well as music industry professionals, to learn about the music business, specifically the songwriting business, and also have a platform for them to share their music. So we've done, at the time, remember back in the early 2000s and 90s, CDs. So we had CD samplers. We also had a radio show and a podcast show back before podcasts were even popular. And we also put on showcases for songwriters or artist-songwriters to perform to music industry. And we've never swayed from that mission as we get further and further away from an artist-driven model, losing $30 or $20 a CD and now earning 0.0002 cents or something for a stream. Songwriter rights have become more and more important, and Songs Alive's mission has become more and more important.
So, how would you say Songs Alive differs from other songwriting organizations out there?
Well, I would say that we're unique. First of all, a lot of songwriter organizations, or at least artist organizations, have sprung up since the 23 years since we started. So just to be clear on that. When we first started, there was no real internet support. There was no ability for artists and songwriters to just make a business for themselves or reach out to their customers or industry directly. And so we were very at the advent of community, online community. So that's our hallmark. Now, back then though, and still to this day, there have been songwriter associations. So, the Arizona Association, which I love, and the Connecticut Songwriting Association, things like that, right? And that's more provincial and local, which is fantastic. What we do from an organization point of view, and have always done, is we think global, always. Not even just US. We think global, always. We also cross genres of music. So NSAI is another example of a great songwriting association that is for Americans, have always bent a little, and power to them, always bent a little to the country, Americana, Nashville, right? While they have chapters and support for songwriters, and we've always partnered in many ways. In fact, a lot of the NSAI folks have come to Songs Alive on NSAI. We're all very symbiotic, but Songs Alive is very non-genre specific. So you could be a lyricist, you can be a songwriter, you can be a music composer, you could be for pop songs, R&B songs, hip-hop songs, country songs, you can be for musicals, you can be for different kinds of music, advertising, etc. Also, so that's been our thing, and global, so not just from the American point of view. The other piece of it is we were the first to have an online community. Now, what is online community today? So you could go to social, you go to Facebook, but we now have an app, so we have our own backstage. where songwriters can be part. We have online learning 24/7. And I would say that, I guess I've been paving the way for others insofar as the concept of a global community online. And I'm actually very happy that there are more songwriter or at least artist driven platforms that have sprung up. I would say majority of them are profit based. We continue to stay non-profit, and we're a charity, public benefit charity.
So a writer doesn't need to be where you have chapters to be involved and benefit from Songs Alive.
More and more so now, yeah. Our models did change, especially at the beginning of the pandemic. We were always online as well as in chapters, and then at the beginning of the pandemic, obviously no one was going out, right? So we actually really pivoted fast to be an app and a backstage online community for our songwriters. So we have online workshops, songwriting, song critique workshops with songwriters gathering around the world, online showcases. We have 24/7 content of guest speakers, kind of like in this situation, or when they come to speak at our workshops, we record them and have been recording it for the last 20 years. So we have this depth of a catalogue of footage. It's just amazing, some of the interviews that we have. I'm sure, Vinny, you've got similar from Indie Connect, where we offer, learning for our songwriters, and articles. There's also a pitch opportunity in Backstage. We call it Backstage, which is the online app for Songs Alive. We also you can get critique any day of the week, 24/7, from the other peers, members in the app. So you can post a song and get feedback for free as part of your membership. We also have Song Shop, where we have opportunity to pitch to music supervisors and publishers and industry that are looking for songs, all listed there. So at your own time, at your own pace, you can go do this. And there's a chat community feature. Everyone's chatting away and sharing on Friday. It's called Shine Friday. So everyone's just posting their latest song there. So there's a kind of a nice community that is not dependent on you being near any chapter anymore.
Do you have both men and women writers?
It's gender agnostic. Yeah. Women, men, they, whatever. Come on in.
So where do you have active chapters now?
Yeah, so it's interesting that you mentioned that. So because of the transition of how we come back and going back live again, currently we have our mainstay chapter is Los Angeles and Orange County. We also are springing up. I mean, we've had chapters everywhere. We've had it in San Francisco, Seattle, Grass Valley, Chicago, Miami, New York, and the countries that I mentioned. Australia is a huge population. We have several events and chapters in Sydney and Melbourne. And we're also springing up again on the East Coast. So again, we're kind of rising from the ashes insofar as in-person chapters. Nashville as well coming back. But I have been more and more listening to our people, our membership base, and learning that they actually still like the online aspect. That being said, we tee up with conferences. For example, coming up in November, we'll be teeing up with the Independent Music Conference on the East Coast, building workshops and showcases with them in person. So lots of collaboration.
Are you looking for people to start local chapters?
We always have. We have an onboarding process of those who want to build a chapter in their area. Again, I think, and we've had actually in the last like 3 or 4 months, we've actually had quite a slurry of requests, and we're taking it on as a case by case at this stage. Before, I mean, we've had up to 35, 40 chapters running at one time. So now bringing it back to more of an online virtual. We've been just taking it on as a case by case to see if that works, because you know what it's like, Vinny, to actually run a chapter or run a community in person takes an art. It takes some. It's not just like a songwriter going, oh, I'd like to run something in my area. They need to be good with venues. They need to be able to promote. They need to be able to build community. They need to be able to work with the industry. So when we build a chapter, we only have 2 things we ask. 2 things. One, a blueprint following our song critique workshop. That's the mainstay. So songwriters can come, they share their songs, get critique, and the opportunity to meet in person a music industry professional of some kind that can give them some learning. And two, a showcase, a live performance space. So those kinds of songwriter promoters or people who just want to run those things are hard to find that keep it up, right? But always welcome for those who want to establish a new chapter for us.
And finally, how do songwriters get involved?
So our website is songsalive.org, and they can join anytime. They can come in for a cost of a cup of coffee once a month, monthly if they like, or they can save money and join for the year. We actually have kept our prices really low compared to any competitor or any other industry type platform, because we are nonprofit, community driven. I would love to say that we could do it for free, but there are things that we need to pay for. So this is very much, again, I say it's a philanthropic for me. But the price point for songwriters, we want to keep it at a place where they can access it and not feel intimidated by that. We just want to build their community. And even those songwriters who feel like it's hard for them, then they can just reach out and we figure out a sliding scale.
That concludes our video about Songs Alive. We want to thank our guest, Gilli Moon, for sharing her experience and passion with us.